You're gonna laugh.
It's Monster Jam. I'm your host, Dan Moriarty, and guess what? This is the end of the road, the final stop on this season's series tour. St. Louis, Missouri, gateway to the west, home of the Arch. But however, big surprise tonight. Got some friends here I want you to meet. Come on in, guys. Mike Hogwood, Scott Douglas, and of course Dennis Anderson, kind of my co-host all year. These are the experts. The guys are in the booth giving you the play-by-play all season long.
Yeah,
guys,
we came down here for a reason, too.
What was that?
And the reason is this. It's great to be here for this event here in St. Louis.
It's the last stop on our tour, as we talked about. Let me tell you guys, being down here with you, I feel, you know, a little wonderful emotion going on here. I
does feel good.
All tingly inside.
And we're going to have a great show.
It's a great show. It's the end. Take it away. You guys, get to the pits.
Who are those guys?
I have no idea.
Motor Madness.
Let's go down to the pits as I instructed them to do. Mike Hogwood, who you got?
I'm with Tom Mance. He's the driver of Bulldozer. A lot of people say you're the favorite tonight. Boy, a win here will be great momentum for next year, too, wouldn't it?
You ain't a kid. You know, we wasn't out here to run a full series this year. We'd like to take a win and enjoy it and savor it for the whole off season.
Well, it looks like you're ready to go.
Yeah, we're definitely fired up. You know, it's a driver's track, and I consider myself a good driver, so I better do well.
All right, we'll see. Let's go now to Scott Douglas.
Guys, I'm with Dan Patrick, and Dan, it's been a great year for you. You've made a lot of finals, but so far haven't won an event totally. Is this the night you finally get it?
Well, we'd hope so. The first round here is going to be my toughest round, it looks like, you know. But I don't know. We've been, like you say, consistent all year. We've had breakage down. We've only broke $500 worth of parts the whole winter. I mean, so, you know, when you're an independent, nobody's writing checks, you know, when you look at it that way. I mean, you know, I feel that we won the series. But I'm really, I don't want to sound overconfident and cocky, but this is a course I should shine on. And tonight, the rules are basically no disqualifications, maybe some infractions. So there shouldn't be the problems we've had in the past of maybe hitting a barrier or something like that. So it should be a no holds bar race.
Let's go down pit road and find out what Dan Moriarty's getting ready for.
Scott, I'm here with Gary Porter of Carolina Crusher. Gary, up and down season. You came out strong. You sold the team. How do you get prepared for the final run of the year?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it sort of has been a tough year for me. You know, we've had a lot of breakage and just little stuff that has happened that really never does happen to us. And, you know, hopefully we've overcome all of that. You know, we're here at the final race. You know, we hope we have the truck tuned up 100%. And we're going out here and give it all.
You heard it there. Carolina Crusher is always here for a good run. Mike Hogwood, who do you got?
I'm with the driver of Gunslinger, Scott Hartsock. Scott, you started this year so strong, winning 2 of the events. Not that you've slumped, but I know you'd love to end this season with a win.
Yeah, you're right. You know, we started off with a bang, and here we are at TWA Dome. It's the World Finals. We're going to come in here, you know, and if we got to shoot somebody in the back to get through these rounds, we're going to have to do it because we're going to put this mega-powered Ford Gunslinger right in the winner's circle.
All right, go get him tonight. Thank you. Scott Hartsock. Now let's go back to Scott Douglas.
Well, now I'm here with Paul Schaefer and the Monster Patrol. Paul, I know when you guys got to town and looked at this track, you looked at it and you got to thrashing, doing a lot of changing. What did you do?
I'll tell you what, this is the biggest track that we've been on all year, and we had to take like 6% gear. We had to go to like a 3% gear, so we just increased the wheel speed probably 20, 30 mile an hour faster for this track.
You got to be fast right off the get-go because you got Gravedigger in round 1.
Yeah, I'm second in the points, and I got Gravedigger, so I got to beat him. So I'm waiting.
Good luck, Paul. Let's go back down to Dan Moriarty.
Thank you, Scott. You know, Mike, that is one heck of a lineup, but we have a number of other trucks out here, some guys to watch out for.
Well, I think one of them we got to watch tonight is going to be Barefoot with Brian Womack. He's from St. Louis. Now, we've seen Todd Frolick drive this truck all year long, but Brian Womack from here has a lot of fans here really inspired to run Barefoot strong tonight.
Anybody else you should watch out for? The pits are tight. You're over here already. Thank you for being here. Who else should there be?
There's a mystery man here, and that's the Mountaineer. Our first look at him, and I'll tell you, it's a good-looking truck. It's got a great reputation. Want to keep our eye on the Mountaineer. If there's a dark horse to win the thing, though, I think it could be Equalizer and David Morris. He loves turning courses, and he's a great driver.
Well, guys, it's showtime. Get to your comfortable booth. I'll stay down here. Time to race.
All right.
Style pastas from Chef Boyardee.
Running through the field here in St. Louis, that's Sampson. We heard from Dan Patrick. He is ready to do it here tonight. Now, here's a guy from West Virginia, Mountaineer. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do on this big St. Louis track. Avenger, another one of those we haven't seen a lot this year on Motor Madness. Reptoid comes into the fight. He, too, an underdog in this event here in St. Louis.
With 16 trucks, they're all here ready to go. Mark Hall brings in the Executioner to take a shot at the big boys. And Little Tiger's back. We've seen Brian Barthel have a lot of success this year. He could be strong on this turning course. Barefoot, of course, started off great on Motor Madness, has slumped in mid-season. The driver change. Brian Womack wants to win in front of the home fans. And there's Scott Stevens. King Crunch, always a contender.
And Gunslinger, we heard he wants to make some noise here, and I think he's got a truck to be able to do just that. Cyborg, well, he's a little underpowered, but never count him out. Carolina Crushers had kind of a tough season, but he hopes to end it on a high note here in St. Louis. And Busted Loose, he hopes to do that in this long dome track.
1 week ago, Tom Mintz had his winning streak in the Bulldozer snapped in Nashville by the Gravedigger. He wants to get back on the winner's circle here in St. Louis. An upstart and a long shot, but he's a good one. Watch David Morris in the Equalizer. Gravedigger trying to wrap up the TNN Points Championship for Pace Motorsports right here in St. Louis. And the guy in the first round who has a chance to try and knock him off, Monster Patrol second in points, has to beat him.
Wow. Now let's see how it works here in St. Louis.
This was a really good course. I'm really going to enjoy this course. At least I say it now.
We were able to use about 5,000 yards of dirt, which was a great help, and we were able to put a lot of step-ups with tabletops, doubles.
There's a lot of obstacles out here. It looks cool. Track really looks great.
For one thing, you're going to have to attack it wide open because everybody here is very competitive, and there's no race here going to be given away. You're going to have to run your truck 110% every round.
You got to charge these obstacles as fast as you can, but you also got to get the truck back down on the ground so you can get some ground speed. And then in a turn, you just got to be perfect on that turn.
This particular track here, your driver's really got to be a finesse driver. He's really got to let the truck drive him as much as he drives the truck in order to win these kind of races.
This will be not only a driver's course, which I know you guys have talked about in the past, but it's also a motor course, which is wide open, pedal to the metal.
This is probably the mecca of tracks right now. I mean, we're going to do a complete revolution of this place in our own lanes. And, I mean, we've got everything from cars to jump to ski moguls to doubles, and we have to do it twice. So we're talking about a lot of driving going on here.
This is it. This is a TNN Super Bowl Motor Madness right here, my man, and they're going to be pedal to the metal, wide open for St. Louis, Missouri.
Boy, it sounds like a lot of fun here.
Oh, Mike, my hat's off to the crew. This is the greatest track I've ever seen built for a monster truck race. It's going to be an awesome night. And right off the bat, Mark Hall would love to tame it in the Executioner.
And he's got a tough opponent, though. He's got to go up against Sampson. Is there you see the two trucks that are staging. Sampson, Dan Patrick, one of the favorites here. This track almost built for his truck with that big motor, and the fact that he also is able to really get around in those turns pretty good. We'll see what he can do.
No question about it. It is a driver's track, but as Dan Allen was saying, hey, motor makes a big difference. Sampson, Barefoot, the guys with the huge motors could be tough here, and look at the lead Sampson has already.
Boy, Sampson jumps out to an early lead, and you see these obstacles that they have to go over. It's not easy at all, but Sampson negotiating it very, very well. And Sampson, as they turn around, the start-finish line is actually in the middle of the arena over those crush cars, and Executioner can't quite make it over.
Well, at the end of the race, Executioner kind of went flat, but Mark Hall was in that race at the end, and, you know, it was a bit of a surprise. I thought that he'd just get out-powered by Dan Patrick, but Mark Hall runs one fine race here. Gets to the turn beautifully, and the turn will be big, Mike, as it always is here on Motor Madness. Gets a little sideways, but still not too bad, and he's setting up the turn, and again, here they're only getting major infractions. You know, if you bump something a little bit, it's not going to give you a problem in St. Louis, and yeah, something just went away right there.
Something broke in the transmission, something on that truck. Well, look at Sampson. Dan Patrick really getting a lot of air, and then when he gets down is able to get the ground speed back up.